there's been a little bit of beef going on.
That you started. Imagine being so much of an egomaniac you can't handle being banned from dead games no one plays. It's like getting offended that you were banned from entering a burned down house 2 states away from where you live. Like, what? Also, what happened? Where's the cocky personality we saw in the last video? Oh, I thought this was your strong suit? Oh well, guess you don't want to stir up so much attention that your ex finds out about the sick shit you've been doing, right? You even tried censoring all mentions of her in your video. Poorly. You forgot a few spots because you were too busy rushing this video out as fast as possible as a form of damage control, and it shows. He tries to say this was cropped out to cut out context. It wasn't. Here's evidence proving that. Regardless, not sure how him pinging me 6 makes the fact that he was posting porn in his server any better. No, he's not schizophrenic. His source for this is Lammy. I've never seen someone make a response so long that barely goes over anything in the video they're responding to. You'd figure this would start off with an apology for the victims he mugged, an apology for intentionally cropping out evidence of Mugen's claims to make him look like a clown among a long list of other things, but no. It's actually impressive how quickly this guy ruined his reputation. Kind of. He already destroyed it months ago when he made this and the final nail in the coffin. If you want to, disregard him asking 12-year-olds to make porn for him. Was him going after Mugen simply because he said, you know what, if you're gonna ban me from your server when I just wanted to educate you about the false allegations related to me, politely, I'm adding both of you to a friends list ban. That's not harassment, neither is spreading the truth about your evil. Weaponizing your fanbase to spew false pedophile allegations on the other hand is indeed harassment though. Groomer is a synonym for pedophile. You accused Mugen of pedophilia intentionally because you're morally bankrupt and exactly as predicted, you're trying to twist the meaning of the word. You know what you did, you're not 10 years old. You could have used the term manipulator, instead you used groomer because you're infantile and can't handle consequences for your actions. You simply want to tear apart anyone who dares to hurt your ego. Also, I'm not sure why you said you never mentioned ZZ in the video when you tried validating his false accusations and even showed him in the screenshots you provide. You're really bad at this.
And he reached out to me. Clearly his intent was to get me to defend him.
He was clearly trying to get you to defend him despite the fact that you still don't have a morsel of evidence even remotely implying Mugen told you this. This is just a more verbose repeat of your original video. 5 minutes later he goes on to correct himself, kind of, saying it was an educated guess. What a shitty way to say, I don't want to apologize for putting words in your mouth.
First of all, he has this really annoying thing that he does that you're going to see a lot. The simplest way I can describe it is anybody who criticizes him is a predator or predator adjacent.
I never said you're a pedophile, rather you're a sexual degenerate, and that wouldn't surprise me in the future if you got exposed for trying to hook up with an underage fan. Because you are a sexual degenerate. You can't even own up to your mistakes. You repeatedly say you never asked for this art even though you did.
I issued a challenge to my Discord server, to make the worst fan art ever. It could be anything from just a sloppy drawing to straight up R34. Straight up R34.
Anyway, this is abnormal behavior even for someone 14, 15 years old. It shows your true colors when you're in a position of power. That this is what you tell your fans to do.
Send me your most vile, disgusting drawings of me.
It's still disturbing for someone at that age to knowingly let 12-year-olds into their server and ask them to make porn multiple times. You never changed. The last example of this behavior isn't even from a month ago. Here's other examples ranging from only 2 to 5 months ago. You could just admit what you did was gross and apologize. Instead, you throw the blame on everyone but yourself when you were literally the one who asked for the porn. And now you're actively lying and trying to cover it up. Your obsession with the Columbine killers is the cherry on top. You made this disgustingly long reenactment of the shooting, glorifying it only 6 days after a bunch of little kids were killed at Robb Preschool, and you try to sidestep it all by saying, the video was me talking about incels. So in other words, it was an autobiography. Doesn't excuse what you did. Apologize for once in your life.
It happened to me, it happened to Wizard, it happened to Toasty.
Neither Mugen or myself ever called Wizard or Toasty pedophiles, rather pedophile defenders, just to clarify. And they are exactly that. It's like you didn't even watch my video. Toasty said ZZ sending pictures of his ass and even a borderline dick pic to a 14-year-old child was, and I quote, worth defending. And he ignored pedo accusations relating to his sources such as universities. Wizard was well aware ZZ was a pedophile from the beginning. This is proven by the fact that he had virtually no response to Mugen's document proving ZZ is a pedophile in his video. In fact, Wizard even drew porn of ZZ. They were well aware ZZ was a pedophile and they ignored this in an attempt to set up the same dead narrative you're trying to revive, that Mugen was the manipulator in the relationship, not the violent child rapist that rants to this day about how he wants to rape Mugen's child self. The remainder of this video is dead air, so I'll cut it down for you. In short, he's saying he's criticizing Mugen's actions and that he's not defending pedophiles because such and such, so in other words, we're completely sidestepping the fact that he's validating the obviously false allegations of a violent pedophile. I repeat, this actual fucking clown of a human being wants you to think Mugen manipulates ZZ because of guess what? This screenshot the pedophile made with absolutely no context behind it really puts into perspective how desperate this guy is. They were getting ready to meet up in real life when suddenly his initial pedo accusations came out. He took Mugen trying to get him to see the reality of the situation as Mugen turning against him, so he began emotionally abusing him, ghosting him left and right. That's where this came from.
Now that that I've gotten all of that out of the way, the final thing that I would like to address, I'm not threatened when you come into my DMs and say things about how you're going to ruin my career. It's just kind of sad, and it's not a very healthy way to kind of sort out issues. I'm giving you plenty of chances to actually, healthily engage in debate, and every single time you have either repeated the same thing without listening to a word I'm saying, or just kind of like pseudo-threatening me. And that's not something that I am going to platform as if it is a legitimate way to debate.
What is there to even threaten your career with? It ended when you made this 6 days after the Rob preschool shooting. Gross how you're now acting like you know what is and isn't healthy when you accused Mugen of pedophilia for trying to contact you, and now you're pretending you gave him every chance to talk to you, which didn't happen, unless you're implying that time you denied defending a pedophile was you trying to initiate a debate. Regardless, why the fuck would he want to debate you after you tell 30,000 people that he was the abuser, not the guy who has a documented history of abusing every single person he was ever in a relationship with? You could have spent a few minutes researching that, and you didn't. You've made it pretty clear from the start that you only care about what increases your subscriber count. Moral of the story, don't trust egomaniacs who cosplay as their Roblox avatars in real life.